So let me show you what I'd recommend for somebody who is a complete beginner on HAG and wanting to get better. Doesn't mean if you have a lot of experience as killer, you can't run this build, but I would lean towards more of a new player having it, right? So you've got Ruin or Corrupt Intervention at your own leisure. Corrupt isn't a bad idea now based on how weak Ruin is, but this is a good option on the table. Like I said, for the fact that it's a teachable unlocked by her as well, right? You're going to want to be looking at Modern Abuse as well. So Modern Abuse is going to reduce your heartbeat down from 24 meters to a low 16 meters, while you can teleport 40 meters. You used to be able to teleport 32 meters, but you can teleport 40 now. We're going to go over here, and we're going to be looking at Nurse's Calling as well. So Nurse's Calling is going to put you in a really nice area, considering that you're going to be able to see people healing at 28 meters. You're going to have a 16 meter heartbeat. Now you can see people healing 12 meters before they hear your heartbeat, and you're very short. So that being said, it's going to be harder to spot you. Your final perk is what I refer to as a substitute for this build. Now this is what you would see on the average meta HAG. The average meta HAG would run generally this, with the option of changing one perk, maybe Ruin for Corrupt, maybe Ruin for Devour. This is what you'd expect to see the normal HAG with. If you're a brand new HAG and you're just trying out, you could change out Ruin for Corrupt Intervention if you had the teachable, and if you didn't have Make Your Choice, a very powerful option that we were just talking about right now would be Sloppy Butcher. Sloppy Butcher is going to put you in an immensely good situation. It's going to allow you to keep pressure on multiple targets, stall them through healing. It's not as good on the Trapper as it is on the HAG. Based on the Trapper is all about catching people through a lethal bear trap when your traps don't do any form of lethality, so you're stalling people with extra heal effect. So if you were a rookie HAG, I'd recommend this. If you were an intermediate or a decent HAG, I'd recommend going right back to Make Your Choice. And if you were an expert HAG and you thought you were one of the best HAG players, with these three being substitute, personally, I don't run Nurses and I don't run Ruin on my HAG. I'm talking here about what I feel is very strong and efficient for consistency in the red ranks with no add-ons, right? If you had a lot of experience or you thought you were a really good HAG, I'd take Save the Best for last. Now, why would I do that? Yes, the Obsession could make you lose stacks, but if you have 4 stacks, that is all, 4 stacks, and you M1 a Survivor, remember, if you M1 a Survivor at 4 stacks, you get 5 stacks, but you recover from 4 stacks. You always recover from what you had before you got the benefit or the negative effect. If I hit the Obsession and I had 4 tokens, I now recover from 4 tokens, even though I have 2 tokens. So this being said, if you hit somebody with an M1 with 4 stacks and they run in front of you and they could trigger a bear trap, they could trigger a trap on the ground, you can teleport straight to it and hit them again through their sprint burst effect of being under it. So that can be very devastating for an experienced HAG. If you're not experienced and you want to jump through everything else and go straight to this, it's going to hurt your performance a lot, alright? I'd highly recommend Sloppy, it's a lot easier to do. Same with there's 3 ways to set up a HAG trap. Ranika, thank you for the tier 1 for the 4th month. Love you, Goose. Hope you have a wonderful stream. I hope you have a lovely day, man. Thank you for coming in with the support. Sorry, I'm just explaining something about the HAG. But I hope you're staying safe as well. So we're also looking at Sloppy Butcher as a better option. There's 3 ways to place a HAG trap, and that is in between a pallet, which is wrong, at the other end of a pallet, which is okay, and in a corner where it's going to snap a survivor's vacuum camera angle to make them run into a wall and lose momentum and then lunge hit them. That is the 3 ways to set a HAG trap realistically. Okay, so me personally, if it was me going to play HAG, I'd get rid of Ruin. I'd be looking at Corrupt Intervention. And I get rid of this perk for a substitute, whatever I feel is going to be better based on what I'm versing. Okay, I'm versing 4 survivors with toolboxes, Thrilling Tremor. I need a form of lethality, Haunted Ground. If I got Haunted Ground, I would get rid of Save the Best for last, and I could substitute this perk for something else. I don't want to have Sloppy Butcher and Haunted Ground. I want one or the other. They both do the same thing in terms of you want one lethal perk, then you want stability. What stability do I have throughout the board right now? None. So I'm going to lean towards one of my favorite perks in the game that a lot of people might turn around and go, hey Goose, I don't think that's a really good idea. Keep in mind, Surge is always off 32 meters. So if you're an 8 meter heartbeat Michael Myers in tier 2 with Modern Abuse and a Dead Rabbit, it still procs off 32 meters. Don't get me wrong. You could run Surge and Surveillance, but you're the HAG, so you can kind of have built-in Surveillance if you're playing your cards right, and that leaves your last perk to being a substitute, whatever you prefer. Haunted Ground opens up the door, Devour Hope, Make Your Choice, Sloppy Butcher, Save the Best for last. Personally, if it was me, I'd actually take Haunted Ground. I'd highly recommend Haunted Ground. I could even do Hex Retribution, as long as whatever's going in this is going to be a lethal perk or a perk that stalls people from healing. Something along those lines. Blood Echo isn't going to do nothing. Make your choice. I'm going to have to catch somebody first and then play closer to the proxy. Do you think I want to play close to a proxy camp if I have Surge? You already know the answer. The answer is no. I want to have good prep. I want to have good efficiency. I want to be able to down a survivor, have regression on the gens around, and not need to come back into him. I could put surveillance on, like I said, but personally, I wouldn't want to. However, if I'm going to down a survivor and Surge is going to make a Jenny regress, I might feel needing to run over there and then put a bear trap or put a little finger painting in front of it, and then I could have kicked the Jenny with surveillance rather than having Surge. However, 110% movement speed, and to counter the fact that I'm slow and platform Jennies, I'd take Surge. So me personally, my endgame Hag build would be this. You might disagree, and that is fine, but this is what I personally would run in the red ranks with no add-ons to go for 4Ks. And if I think they knew I had Hornet Ground, I'd trade it off for Devour.